SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.
Toyota Brookhaven services all makes and models. That could be why we were voted best service department the past 2 years. Come see why. Exit 40 Brookhaven or online at ToyotaBrookhaven.com. Great service, great savings. At Toyota Brookhaven, we deliver.
I'm Steve Azar, and I'm on the other side of the microphone, meaning I'm asking the questions this time, and oh, have mercy for the airwaves. I spent 20 years in Music City, wrote and made some hits, traveled the world, and then moved my family back to the birthplace of American music and where the magnolia trees prosper. And now every time I put my feet on Mississippi soil, when I'm off the road, well, I'm at peace. On this show, it's all about hearing the stories straight from the mouths of the friends I've made along the way, their journey to success. Heck, there might be someone on, I don't even know, but you know how us Mississippi types are. We tend to take well to new company. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them. I'm Steve Azar. It's just like that muddy river, moving slow. Ain't no worries, it's how life goes, baby. In a Mississippi Minute. That's right.
Hey folks, time for another In a Mississippi Minute. Oh yeah, I'm Steve Azar, reminding you that my pals over there in Macon, Mississippi, they're producing the most fabulous catfish. Please go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. We are the birthplace of it all when it comes to music, and that says it all. Visit your Mississippi, even if you're living within the confines of the state lines. Just, check out another section of Mississippi. You'll be blown away. All right, always good to catch up with my pal, the incredibly talented, charismatic, funny at times. He was just funny a second ago before I started my intro here. Crazy athletic. He passed those genes down to his two boys, and I can keep going. Born in Montclair, New Jersey, which is about 15 miles, if I'm not mistaken, west of New York City, to a very musical family. His father was a fantastic drummer, his mother a singer. He was one of three siblings. Chuck became a world-class drummer, by the way, including, I think, a couple decades plus with Billy Joel, and the list goes on. After graduating from Montclair High School, an incredible athlete, by the way, the quarterback, the point guard, the pitcher, he did it all. Traveled throughout Europe for a while. Come to think about it, I think he's still traveling to this day. I think it's in his DNA like my baby girl Cecilia. He began his acting career in the mid-1980s, and from about 86 to 89, he had recurring roles on daytime staples like Another World, As the World Turns. He also appeared in One Life to Live for a short stint, but he was on Young and the Restless. A lot of you guys know his character as Ashland Locke. I know that character. Throughout the 90s, he continued to work steadily in television series along with Days of Our Lives, crime dramas like The Centennial, fantastic, where he was one of the leads, Detective James Ellison. Also had roles, some recurring roles like in Judging Amy, Point Pleasant, Las Vegas, One Tree Hill, Desperate Housewives. His film work includes some sci-fi, Alien Bugs versus Humans sequel, Starship Troopers 2, Hero of Federation, Cellular, Jim Carrey comedy, Fun with Dick and Jane, the Cameron Diaz comedy, Inner Shoes, Friday the 13th, the 2009 version. I'm scared to death of Jason Voorhees. That's all I've got to say. I want to talk to him about that. So many things. And I think maybe if I guess I could keep reading the cult classic Christmas Twister. I can just go on forever and ever. But I'm just going to stop now. We met at the Frank Sinatra many years ago on a tee box, and we have been forever friends, and I'm grateful for it. He did miss the Delta Soul Celebrity Golf and Charity event last year because he was making a film over in Europe, and I want to talk to him about when that's coming out. Welcome in the multi-talented, my dear friend, Richard Berge.
Oh, Steve V, nice to see you, brother. Nice to be here. I got a song in my head. I've been wandering early and late from New York City to the Golden Gate, and it don't look like I'll ever stop my wandering. Come on, man.
I love it.
That's
Come on, sing the whole show.
I'm sure I was off key. If only I had your pipes, brother.
No. You don't need my pipes. You don't need my pipes.
I've got no problem singing bad. I sing it hard. That's all I care.
Well, I've seen you play drums, and you just stay back there because you bring it. You bring that. There's serious melodic grace and power going on back behind that drum kit. And you and I have talked about the importance of the nurturing that your dad and your mom put into you and your brothers, and how it changed your lives. I mean, you think about if they don't do that and they just let you be athletes, what would you have become?
A failed athlete.
You're pretty good, man. You're
no,
pretty
I know.
special.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been spending a lot of time with my brother. My mother's 101 today, brother. And I've spent a lot of time with brother Chuck. Yeah. So we're going to go and take her out tonight, and it's great to spend time with him because he was always such a beacon for me. 6 years older, seeing him on stage in all kinds of venues. And the other day we just went through these old home videos, with Joe Walsh in our backyard and all of his boys. He was playing on this float in high school, playing Jimi Hendrix when he was, I don't know, in 9th grade, 10th grade. Life has been really crazy around that whole world. God bless my mother and father.
Well, I want to talk about your mom, 101 years old, first of all. Well, second of all, give me 1 second. While you're talking about this, the difference in, you've made a living as an actor. Chuck didn't do that. And he was probably involved maybe in a little theater, maybe as well. Looks like your parent, not really. Well, let's talk about the difference in Chuck as a drummer versus you, who you're insanely talented back there. What is that difference?
Chuck had such assiduous application of, time in the saddle. I'd be going down to the park to play ball, and he's practicing 4 hours a day. I would practice maybe an hour a day when I was studying, and I got to a level, and, because sports were so important to me, and chasing girls, and just goofing off with the boys up in the woods. He had a single, he stopped playing sports. He was pretty good, but he stopped playing sports in 9th grade and just boom, all music. And that wasn't my world. I'm still dissipated with a zillion things. I'll spend a day just goofing around with a couple chords that I'm learning on guitar. I'm working on my rudiments just for my brain and my hands. I've lost so much of my chops and all that because I don't sit behind the kid anymore. He does. He has, that constant, assiduous drive to still practice all the time. And he's, Billy's drummer. Billy's got some weird stuff going on medically, so he's not playing right now. So my brother, for the first time in a long time, is just kind of, taking him for walks in the woods and boring him with my bird watching. It's like, dude, right there. That's
look, I've seen you pay attention to nature. Let's talk about you being back in Jersey versus California. Have you left California for good, or is it temporary?
For good. I don't know if anything's for good, brother. I miss my girlfriend, the ocean, so much. She's out there. It's so magical, surfing and body surfing and the diving. I spent so much time underwater, in the water. And so I miss that a lot. But here, there's these, New Jersey's so bloody old. The mountains here, what we call mountains, are the oldest probably on the planet because they're part of the Appalachian strain. Anyway, so I spent a lot of time outdoors communicating with God and Mother Nature and the trees. And right now, everything's starting to bud, and it's cold. We're getting a little cold snap. So New Jersey, and I'm connecting with old friends of mine. We're now old, when buddies of mine.
Older.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Don't never leave off the earth. Never leave the earth off. It changes everything.
And wiser, hopefully. Not necessarily wise, but wiser.
Yeah, you're pretty wise.
That's cool. It's been really, really phenomenal. I went through some crazy changes in California, and I lived there more than I lived here, and I just needed to reset. And I wanted to be. It's a little arrogant, I'd like to be there when my mom crosses over. She might have another idea, but my brother and I are really enjoying this time, kind of in completion, in service to her.
101 years old. How is she?
She's good. She's hilarious. She still laughs at our stupid jokes when we can, when she can hear us. But she's just, the light's slowly fading, but it's still burning bright.
Wow, just this amazing gift.
He's full-time help with everything for the most part. But, last night I was coming back from, my brother and I did something and he didn't go. So I called her on the way and she wanted a Whopper. So I got her a Whopper last night. The night before I made her there's a great little store up. They got Pennsylvania Dutch hot dogs. I make a little hot dog with a potato bun and real good sauerkraut and mustard and mwah. And she goes, that's my special. She goes,
that's why she's 101. See, most people would think that you're trying to kill her off, but with that food. But I personally believe that food is probably played a vital role in her 101 years. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh yeah.
Let's take a quick break. My man, Richard Berge, so talented. As you can tell, I'm not looking at anything on my screen. I'm just looking at him and his beautiful mug. He's got a good mug shot. Speaking of anything beautiful, you want it on your plate, Superior Catfish. Please head on over to SuperiorCatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. Man, I'm blessed to be your music and culture ambassador and author of our state song, Forever Grateful. I'm Steve Azar with the great Richard Berge. Don't go nowhere.
I said, damn the money. Yeah, damn the money. Now I know how she used to feel when I was gone too long trying to close some deal. I say, damn the money. Oh, damn the money. Calling home from someplace warm and sunny, running from the land of milk and honey. The way we look at life is funny. Damn the money. Damn the money. Damn the money. Yeah, damn that money.
A Mississippi Minute will not contain my guest today, the multi-talented, just beautiful soul of a man. One of my favorite people in life that I've gotten to meet. I apologize for some of you out there that I've known for my whole life. But Richard Berge, my guest today, he exudes inspiration. He's inspiring to me. He always has been from the day I met him and got to sit with him and just get to know him. And I'm always grateful to have him on my show. He's crazy talented, from sports to acting and the theater and everything that he takes on, the water. I mean, I could never get on a surfboard. It would not work out. It ain't working out. But I tried to surf on the Mississippi River, but it just didn't. Maybe that's my problem. But Superior Catfish, you can surf there. I'm telling you, if there's magic in those ponds, that's where it comes from, homegrown in Mississippi. Go to SuperiorCatfish.com. Visit Mississippi.org, man. Richard has traveled throughout Mississippi extensively, so he understands the magic of our hallowed ground we call Mississippi. Richard, let's talk about Europe. You went and left us last year, and we, by the way, we had a seat for you, and it said, had your name, and we had like a little poster of you, and, everybody was walking by and touching your head, kissing the head, like you weren't there. It was a huge void for us. We're not used to it. And, but tell me about the project that you worked on, and where is it now especially after having the strikes and all this stuff, where is it in rotation?
That is a darn fine question. I had done a TV show, good Lord, 6 months ago that I don't have a TV. I don't care about any of this stuff. I shoot it and I move on. It was some movie that I had done in Germany. I had met this producer over there when I went over for a couple of appearances, and I did this other little crummy movie. This was a little bit bigger, a thriller. I don't even know the name of it. And as I said, nor do I care. I just did this thing, like I said, 6 months ago or so with Jennifer Aniston. I think it's called The Morning Show. And
oh yeah, you did that? You were on The Morning Show?
I was on The Morning Show, and
that's not this European thing.
No. That's what I'm saying is that I just don't know. I don't know when it's. I don't care.
The Morning Show is a very popular show.
Huh?
The Morning Show's been out a while.
Yeah. It's in its fourth season. I think they were only supposed to do 3. I had a great time with that one, but I don't even know what's going on with the other one. I've done so many of these sort of low budget. You go in, you go out, and
so what you're saying is you chose a low budget and a movie you can't remember, or a film, TV show you can't remember the name of, instead of being with me and Gwen and all your Delta Soul family. That's makes me feel pretty good. I'm feeling better about my day. I'm gonna go back to bed.
I'm just not saying yes to these things anymore, Steve-O. I got, I got my priorities. I got to get down to Mississippi. I've missed it and missed you.
Well, speaking of June 12th, 13th, and 14th, we're filming a movie down here. We don't have a name for it, but you're the star. So
I'm
just come on,
baby.
And it's a very low budget. That's so funny. I'm sorry, our listeners out there, they're probably going like, come on, guys, get it together. Get it together. I have a series of questions that I've always wanted to ask you. Like there's remember David Letterman used to do stupid pet tricks?
Yes.
And then he'd do the top 10 and all that stuff. I just asked like Chat GPT, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. Whatever the heck it is. Give me 10 stupid questions to ask actors. In particular, Richard Burgi. And it came up with 10 questions. And they're the worst questions I've ever seen. I mean, you could cringe. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
What inspired you to pursue a career in acting?
That's the actual question you want me to answer? It was either that or juvenile detention. Yeah. A life of crime was the other option for me.
You played many shows where crime has been sort of the backdrop to it all. Do you enjoy playing movies like TV shows like that?
I do to a degree, and then I realize the proliferation of what, the hypocrisy of Hollywood is kind of embraced. You got so many people using guns and this proliferation of gun violence across the country. It's a funny thing. So, I like our law enforcement. I really support what they're doing.
Me too, yeah.
Know that there's just such a mystique around, gun violence. And so.
Isn't that interesting? But it's front and center, right? In a lot of shows that's very successful, but yet they preach against it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I've had a difficult time or a dance with, making sense, and peace with, the hypocrisy with so much of what I've done in my business.
Well, I know where you stand there and all that. You moved back home, and this is not one of the stupid questions. I'm going to come back to them. But you moved back home like I did. What's it look and feel like to you than it did when you were just visiting, or you've been gone how long have you gone? How long?
35 years.
How many?
35.
35. I was gone 20.
I lived in California. 35 years.
I know you were back visiting a lot and all that, but when you officially put your roots down again there in full circle, how has that felt?
Grounding, simple. I live in a blue collar area, it's elemental. Same thing. I grew up, a lot of great people, a lot of wonderful, crazy, the proximity to New York, the proximity to nature. As I said earlier, I wish I had the California beach and a lot of my old friends.
Yeah.
Because I basically developed sort of a family out there as well as here. So it feels great. It feels, it's almost like going down to Mississippi. I remember going down there for the first time and feeling, wow, as a Yankee, I'm kind of like a little out of my element. And then slowly like, oh my Lord, this is beautiful. The people down here are like gorgeous. And so I have that as well. When I left Jersey, I had a lump in my stomach and, I was just a mess because I was going through a lot of changes. So coming back, it's really nice to be in my skin.
There's something about home, it fixes things at times. It really does.
Yeah.
It does. It's a fixer. It's got that ER on the end of the word. There it is right there. Fixer. Fixer. Not just a fix. A fix could be a bad thing. But a fixer, not necessarily. All right, let me get to the next question here. Can you share? It's so bad. Can you share? I've had interviews like this back in my day, by the way, and I know you have. Can you share a memorable experience from your time on the set? Well, I would like to hear the answer to maybe one of the more memorable, and it may not have been a great memory, or it may have been a quirky memory, a wow memory, like what the heck is going on? It's got to be something. I got plenty of bus stories or stage stories I can tell you.
Well, I'm sure a lot of your listeners, one of the more salient, one of the more powerful, insofar as its reach, TV shows that I did was Desperate Housewives. And I remember Terry and I, we were doing a scene and we were fully committed and we enjoyed the crap out of it. And, the crew was kind of sort of laughing and enjoying it as well. And she turned to me and said, "Are we doing crap?" And I said, "Well, I don't know." And all of a sudden, boom, it takes off. And we used to, at the end of every week, on some show, some scene, she'd say, "Are we doing crap?" And we'd laugh. And because it was so bloody popular, and we didn't know, like 24, they didn't know the first season I was
24 was great.
They, we went through the same thing. They had no idea, and it just was a phenom.
Do they throw stuff against the wall a little bit and see what sticks, like they do in the music business a little bit?
Yeah, it's got a Bible, insofar as what they call the Bible, oddly enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have a pretty rigid kind of, this is where we're at, this is what we're doing, and they stick to that
Richard Berge.
Very little deviation. So yeah, and with Desperate Housewives, I could see, like with a lot of shows that got very popular, slowly the guy who creates it wants to take, the autonomy.
Yeah.
Then it slowly.
Wow. Well, let's take another break real quick. The fabulous Richard Berge. He loves himself some Superior Catfish. There's catfish. There's Superior Catfish. Head on over to SuperiorCatfish.com. Visit Mississippi.org. Like I've said, Richard has combed Mississippi. He loves the view. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. I'm Steve Azar.
$20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
There's a ton of content from SuperTalk Mississippi on our new YouTube channel. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi on YouTube or go to supertalk.fm/YouTube. Be sure and subscribe for free to get the latest scoop on what's happening in Mississippi news, politics, sports, and the good things happening here in the state.
From the Seabrook.
In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
I'm in a hurry, one hell of a hurry, 'cause I knows you're there waiting.
I love spending a Mississippi Minute, a New Jersey Minute, a New York Minute with my pal Richard Berge, because he's there and I'm here. It won't be long. He will be on Mississippi soil. I've just booked him for a fantastic movie with no title and no budget. He's going to be here June 12, 13, and 14. We know where his low limit is, and so we're going to even go below that. It's going to cost him money, actually, to come down here. It cost him time, cost him money. Superior Catfish, man, come on. If you're going to spend it and you're going to put it in your skillet and put it on your plate, and the next step is in your mouth, you want it to be superior. Go to SuperiorCatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org, man. Never an afterthought. Plan a road trip with your loved ones. Celebrate our Mississippi. Richard, should I get to stupid question number 3? Because it's turned into some good questions based off the stupid question. So there's a fine line between love and hate. There's a fine line between not smart at all and brilliant. And I think that we're We're on the tightrope right here. What advice would you give to I want to say aspiring actors. The ones on the rise, not the ones going away.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a question. What advice would I give?
It's really not a question. I really don't even want to know the answer.
No, well, for me, I get asked that all the time, brother. You know, I'm a blue collar guy. I just hustled, did various jobs when I was working my way up, and that's what you have to do. This business, like you know, you're in the entertainment business, and entertainer extraordinaire. Mm-hmm. It's not guaranteed. This does not necessarily guarantee success and supporting yourself, let alone a family. So, we were both very blessed in our pursuits, but I always would tell people, man, learn a trade, learn something. You can always have something to have some dignity with.
You know what? You just took this really bad question and turned it into something special. Now we're going to continue that thought. So I was always a believer, and a lot of my songwriting pals who had a lot of success, most of the songwriters, they love to work with their hands. They love to build things. We were always together, celebrating when one of them had a hit. One of us had money at the time. Sometimes we all had it at the same time. Sometimes we were all, one person had more and having more success, and we go to their place, or they'd go to my place or whatever, and we would take turns celebrating with building. We would add on additions to house, put Mexican tile on the floors. I put an entire addition upstairs in my attic. Had to put all new floor joists in. It was hard it was a lot of space up there. And that's when I started coming up with my bigger songs up in that little studio I built up there. So, but it was working in those situations that I really feel like it helped ground us. Also, it gave us content. It put us not in a room writing, like we're in this writing room, sitting on this couch that you're sinking into and literally unmotivated, uninspired, and then when you get out of that element and you're not thinking about it as much, it sort of comes to you rather than you trying to fight your way to it.
Right.
We've taken that to another level. I'd like to feel good about my quest there. It's a quest. You know, I was going to ask you about staying grounded. That's one of the questions on here, but you and I both have been so humbled at times in our careers, living on the roller coaster of it all. I think I've learned to sort of live in the middle and not get too overly excited or not to get too overly sad or down about things that aren't quite working right. Let's figure it out, but let's stay level. And that reminds me of your Europe trip without messing with it anymore and messing with you. Sound like I'm going to work, and whether it's going to be something great or not, I'm going to go enjoy myself. I'm going to come back. I just feel like that's where you are in your life. Is it better to live in the middle without getting crazy over the top or crazy depressed?
100%, brother. I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to be at the top of the heap, and I like the middle. Who is it? The way, the Tao. The ancients have. The concept of just living with humility and being humble. And I like people like that. There's a trap on either side, there's a trap with success the people that I know, like I remember, working with Selleck and I just read something recently. I guess he went up, because they're very politically different. He went up to just say hello to Jane Fonda at something. But this liberal rag, pardon me for getting a little, tangential, had said, Tom, Selleck got rebuffed by Jane Fonda. He wanted to kiss her ring or something. And he's a gentleman. He's a good man. He just wanted to, irrespective of the fact that he has his differences with her. Mm-hmm.
I got
politically and so forth. So, people like that, are a big target. And, boy, it's a lot of work, man, to carry that kind of load and carry that kind of people projecting on you all the time.
Right. Well, let's talk about directors. Let's talk about, it's almost like you're hopping from one to the other, like you're hopping from one coach to the other, different philosophies, different ways they do it. Was that ever a problem? Or are you able to just that's a new coach I'm dealing with today, I'll figure it out?
Exactly. I tell my son the same thing. My son's going through a lot of changes because he's having a difficult time playing professional volleyball with his coach in Romania. But, I said, look, life is going to be full of people that might not support you, challenge you, guide you in the way that is most, but go past that. God's got another plan, man. And just go along with the difficulties. Take your lumps. So I had some clowns and I've had some wonderful ones. And my favorite ones were the ones that were not like, this one's walking on water. So I've had some times with some amazing directors that had that kind of hype. Didn't impress me that much.
What about rotating directors? Because I know that happens in Hollywood on shows that are, you think that it's the same group doing everything, but it changes, right? And so if you're on the set and you're doing Young and the Restless and you have a rotating director, did you have rotating directors?
Yeah, everything. Young and the Restless had it. Desperate Housewives had it. We had it on the Sentinel. It's a dance, which is a nice thing. That most of the time they'll check their ego at the door, as everybody can, and then sometimes you get people on both sides. The actors can have egos and want to control everything, and I've seen both. So I like to dance, man. I like to be in the jam session.
Why do they do that?
Because people are insecure.
No. Why do you rotate a director if one's really working?
Oh, I thought you meant why they act like that.
Yeah, I know they rotate the writers. A lot of that, you're getting the different writers for shows, and within a season.
On a TV series, you have to you have a week of preparation. Where I get, as an actor, get my stuff the night before, or sometimes just that morning, and I gotta, it's all quick assimilation, and a director has to figure out, everything from locations to script points, from actor choices to are we shooting at night? So the preparation for a director is pretty important.
So you've got one step ahead. The one working on the next week, one working. Exactly. Yeah, right. How many rotating directors can you have in one series, in one show?
There's anywhere from 5 to
what?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we had a fair amount on the Sentinel because we were always bringing in new blood, and that was fun. Well, you had a director who is not in the rotation, who doesn't get stale. And there's, one of the directors was the father of the guy who created the Sentinel, and it was a little rough, but he was the father of the guy who created it, and it was difficult. But he was a sweetheart, and he meant well, but a little out of date.
Yeah. Well, what's not out of your league and what should be on your plate is Superior Catfish, which means we're going to a break right now. You please go to SuperiorCatfish.com. I promise you that Richard Berge has passed there, traveling to Eupora or to Starkville or wherever up in the neck of the woods over there. He's been to Macon, Mississippi, and seen Superior Catfish, just didn't stop in. Next time he's going to do it. Go to SuperiorCatfish.com, homegrown in Mississippi. And visit Mississippi.org. Man, I love a good road trip in Mississippi. And you should too. Don't go nowhere. I'm Steve Azar with the fabulous, fantastic, multi-talented, one of my dear, dear friends, Richard Berge.
I say go on now, please wake me from the dead.
$20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now.
Oh, yeah, you're hot rod cocky. And you stand there like a man and say, there ain't nothing strong enough to stop me. Until some beautiful girl, bare-legged and sandals, loosens a grip on everything you had.
Got my stopwatch on Richard Berge today. I'm staring at it, waiting for the next 8 minutes to be done because I've had enough. No, I'm kidding. Superior Catfish is something you can never have enough. Richard, you can go to the Piggly Wiggly in Louisville. You can go to the Piggly Wiggly in Union. You can go to the Oktibbeha County Co-op, the Clay County Co-op, Ocean Fresh in Tupelo. Superior Catfish is there. It's there. And you can have it delivered to New Jersey if you go to store.superiorcatfish.com. and visit Mississippi.org. We're ready to see you and your beautiful size 12s on the hallowed ground we call Mississippi. So hoping you'll be here sooner than June, but we'll take June. So let's talk now about romantic partners on screen. I see you just perked up a little bit. Good chemistry, anything that was like rumored to have lasted past the roles that you guys were playing, and you thought maybe it could have been a forever thing, or what do you got?
Well, I mean, I could work my way backwards. The last gal I worked with on Young and the Restless, we had a sweet, sweet thing. And that's the problem. The blessing and the curse. We were both going through changes in our marriages, struggling and we had this beautiful connection, and it was reading, and they only asked me to do like 9 episodes, and then they threw a 6-month contract, and then they threw a year at me, and then a 3-year contract because, she and I were taking off because we had this, we didn't do anything. We'd go out and have fun, have a glass of wine and during the day, at work, or a little tequila. Who's asking? So, and I adored her, and she adored me. When nothing, we just kept that energy, on the set. And I really, 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 really liked her a lot, and I know the feeling. We're still in contact, and she's still on the show.
She want to come to the Delta Soul?
Dude, I'll reach out to her.
Well, why would you not? I want to see.
She lost her house in the.
Oh God! Don't tell me.
So she's going through a lot of changes with all of that.
Oh my goodness! Oh man, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah,
we'll invite her later, but let's talk about that because you're gone, and I know how much you love Malibu, and I know you had your place there, right?
Not anymore. No, I got a lot of friends. Yeah, I got a lot of friends. I lived in Laguna Beach.
Laguna Beach. I'm sorry. That's right. Okay. So have you been back?
No, I have not. And, fire raged through Laguna years ago. And I think that was in the 90s. And then, here and there it gets torched, but I have not been back to LA.
Gosh, man.
I have friends. I got a good buddy that I studied with in New York. And he stayed in the kind of the business, but he got into, car business, and he's a nut, and he lost his house overlooking the water. And she lost her. I knew a bunch of people that lost their houses. I was trying to get Dennis Quaid possibly to come down to you, this other thing doing in California, and
love Dennis.
Lost his house apparently.
Man,
yeah.
Did I ever tell you the time Dennis? We were doing the BMW. And he had come off of doing in Greenville, South Carolina, and that golf event, and our band was the one that was headlining that year. And he was there, and he wanted to get up and do some Jerry Lee from the film he played. And I watched him go into character. Like he was, "Hey, how you doing?" And I said, "Is there a way I can use a guitar?" And I said, "You can use." I had like 12, 14 of them in my coffin over there, so you can use any of those. He goes, "You let me use your guitar?" And I went, wait a minute, what just happened? And he goes, I can use your guitar. And, I got to know Jerry Lee at some point, and I'm going like, this is Dennis Quaid going into, the more I thought about that, the more I was going like, oh my goodness, he's trying to be, he's going into that mode before he gets on stage. Yeah. And, I'm telling you, it was a 180.
Wow.
But really nice guy, guy, and very talented, he's you've seen him a lot lately. What's going to what is next for you on your plate?
What, I'm going to go and get some cupcakes, take some cupcakes and some carrot cakes over to my mom. Mm-hmm. And then I may go and meet an old friend of mine who's having some difficulties with his health as well. He was a retired New York City firefighter. Foya, as we say. Mm-hmm. And we used to work construction together. He's a beautiful human being. And we were going to go meet down at the Jersey Shore for a couple of days.
You're gonna hear a little bit of maybe Springsteen. Why don't you play for me? Girls in their summer clothes.
No, brother, it's so funny.
The evening air, the girls in their summer clothes pass you by.
This guy, he's such a bon. He's such a nutty dude. He's one of these guys that you'll never. There's probably 5 of them in the world, if that. They're like Beatles. Obla da. Are you kidding me? How about? Come on, you can't listen to John Coltrane or Bill Evans. What's the matter?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Coltrane's on my house every morning.
Come on.
No, every morning for the last 30 years.
Serious?
Oh, in my bus, everything. I listen to Coltrane. He is my mornings with coffee. Prayer time. Coltrane is very special in the Azar household. Visit Mississippi.org. Always standing by for you to come visit, celebrate our Mississippi on this hallowed ground. And SuperiorCatfish.com. Sorry, guys. Homegrown and produced right here in Macon, Mississippi, and it travels the world. I'm Steve Azar. Later on.
I'm Steve Azar. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them, where you can take your sweet time.
A SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.